Now we've got the Democrat running for Colorado's 3rd congressional district, Adam Frisch. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Great to be here again.
So you're running for Lauren Boebert's seat in Congress. She made headlines this past week after getting kicked out of a Beetlejuice musical for vaping and also engaging in sexually lewd acts in a crowded family theater. Can I get your response to this latest spectacle from the Colorado Congresswoman?
Yeah, I wish we weren't having these conversations, Brian. In reality, I mean, there's two things we focused on from day one last cycle when we had the closest race in the country, and that was people want the circus to stop, and they want this angertainment industry that my buddy Dean Phillips talks about, and I talk about a lot as well. And they want someone in the House of Representatives to focus on the district and not themselves. And so this latest Beetlejuice escapade is just another notch in the belt of embarrassment, as I say, for the district. I wish we were having conversations about accessing rural healthcare better for our constituents and our families, and trying to figure out how to get inflation and some of these costs under control, and childcare, and making sure that we have the water we need for our ranchers and our farmers and our recreation people. And unfortunately, the whole country, literally the whole country, is just focused on the current representative's latest shenanigans. And I'd rather just spend my time focusing on the district. But we are working with what's dealt with us in the life of politics in 2023.
Yeah. Just to stay on the Beetlejuice saga for one quick moment, there has been a lot of grandstanding by Boebert herself about grooming children and playing into that whole genre to appease
Yeah.
the farthest fringes of the Republican base. In November of 2021, she actually tweeted, "Seems Joe Biden understands basic economics as well as he understands appropriate behavior around kids." What does it say that she violated this purported sacred rule as far as her own party is concerned?
Yeah, we're not spending any time talking about this, but obviously there's a lot of people out there that are pointing out the hypocrisy of that conversation, and the drag shows with her boyfriend. Again, it's all part of. There's a reason, and understandably so. So many more people are more cynical of politicians, elected officials in DC, how they act, what they say, do what I say, not what I do. That type of conversation happens a lot. And again, we're trying to just focus on issues that matter to the communities and the families and the business owners of our district. However, it goes back to just said, there's a lot of people pointing out this hypocrisy that you mentioned.
Well, embarrassing behavior aside, is she delivering in any meaningful way for the district for Colorado's third?
No, I mean that's really what we're focusing on. I mean, last cycle she was 0 for 39, and the amendments that she tried to bring up and pass. I mean, she's just not delivering. And it's one thing if you're delivering for your district and you have some antics and you get more freedom to do this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's worse to be embarrassing and effective, but she's embarrassing and ineffective. And I'm really focused on the ineffectiveness part. We have all sorts of issues with rural access to healthcare, making sure that our kids in our poorer communities get the same type of school funding as some of our wealthier communities. And there's a lot of conversations about water and soil health, and making sure that we have a smooth transition with the energy that we need to work on as our district in our country. And all that stuff is getting lost. And she just continues to not deliver for her constituents, even those that voted for her. And, she just can't figure out how to do the job. She made a big case last time that the reason she was 0 for 39 is that she wasn't in the majority. Well, they've been in the majority for almost a year now, and they've probably got less done than they did before. And there were a lot of Republicans that got things done last cycle as well. I'm hoping to be one of the more bipartisan members of Congress, and she's literally 433 out of 435. She's one notch above her former mentor, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's 434 in bipartisanship. So she's just not delivering for the district, and that is the crux of the matter.
Right, and this is immediately preceding what may very well be a government shutdown by her party. So she's complaining that her party isn't in power, that they can't exercise their ability to govern. When they do actually have the majority, we're careening toward a government shutdown itself. So I think that kind of speaks for itself here. Adam, have you heard from folks who may have voted for her in the past as the result of this whole situation, who may now be looking to, I guess, turn away from her?
Yeah, no, thank you. We've, from day one, the plan was to build what my mom calls our pro-normal party coalition. And that's really what we're focused on. Our district out here leans about 8 or 9 points for Republicans. So it's kind of like a normal Republican is going to get 54, 55 points, and the Democrat will get 45, 46. And, the district is only 22 or 23% registered Democrats. And we got 49.9% of the vote last time, as you mentioned, closest race in the country. We really like our chances going forward now. But yes, as I drive around, I've driven another 9 or 10,000 miles since February, which is on top of the 25,000 miles I drove last time. And they just put their head down, and they talk about this embarrassment. They talk about she's not taking the job seriously. They talk that she's not delivering, that she's not fighting for the businesses, she's not fighting for the community. She's kind of focused on that angertainment stuff. So we're continually building an assortment of a wide variety of people. Most of the people out here in Western and Southern Colorado, they're not really political. They just want to be left alone, the kind of a libertarian conversation, and they don't want to be embarrassed by their government leaders, and they want to make sure the government leaders are fighting for them, and they don't feel that is the case in either situation with their current representative.
Now, what's going to be the difference for you in 2024 versus 2022? How can you overcome that margin from the last election, which, again, as you noted, was the closest election in the country?
The believability is a big conversation. Last year when we were driving around working really, really hard, you had 538 and other political forecasters, Democrats as well as Republicans, saying that we were going to lose by 40,000 votes, and we lost by 500, fewer than 550 votes. And so just the fact that we don't have to spend so much time telling our story that this can be done gives us a lot more leeway and a lot more time to kind of focus on why people should be looking not just against the current representative, but to be supporting us, because I'm focused on the issues that matter to the vast majority of people in our district. And that's the connection that we're making. We also have a whole nother year that we didn't have before. And unlike last time where we were scraping money left and right, it's going very well. We still do need the support. Club for Growth and some of these other organizations are they've promised that they're going to put 20 million bucks into 4 or 5 races in the country. And our race is one of them. But we're off to a really good start. We've raised 3 times as much money as she has since the start of this race through the end of June. We'll have another reporting thing in October, and I think we will continue to do well. But we do have to advertise in 4 media markets, in Grand Junction, in Colorado Springs, in Albuquerque, New Mexico, of all places, as well as in Denver. But we really, really like our momentum, and people are just sick and tired of the circus.
What's your message to Boebert voters as we head into 2024?
Whether I'm talking to Republicans or Democrats or independents or Latinos or Anglos or old or young, we have so much more in common. There's so much more common ground. And it just goes back to water is obviously water is really, really important out here in Western and Southern Colorado. The other thing is just rural healthcare access. Everyone has healthcare access in the country because how expensive it is. And it's really challenging to fill out all the paperwork and the insurance and the time on the phone. But a lot of our residents in Colorado, in Western Colorado and Southern Colorado, are driving anywhere from a half an hour to 5 hours to see a doctor. It's literally 5-hour drive for some people. And that affects Republicans, that affects Democrats, that affects independents. And I'm focused on the common ground that so many people in our country and our district are facing. And we're making, at the end of the day, we're making a competency case. Like, who do you want sitting down in that chair, supporting your family, supporting your community, and supporting your businesses? And that's the case we're making, and we're doing a really good job of making that case.
To that end, how can people support you in your campaign, and why is it important to do so now, so early before the election?
Yeah, so thank you. Obviously, we need funding. I wish we didn't need the money in politics. I wish the money wasn't in politics as much as it was. But adamforcolorado.com, adamforcolorado.com. There's also not just the donation page, but there's a way to sign up to volunteer. We have people from all over the country. Obviously, we're focused on those in our district, in the state, but we have people that are going onto our website and signing up from literally all over the country to help us make phone calls later on in life, do some door knocking, and do some postcards. So money's important, but it's not the only thing. So there's a way to do that as well. And if you have friends or neighbors that live in Western and Southern Colorado, just make sure that they're registered. It's really, really important to get that registration taken care of. and we're working really, really hard on that. And those are the best ways that you can support our campaign. And that's what we really need now. It's a long road ahead of us. We have 13 or 14 months, but we like our momentum, but we're going to continue to need the resources we need to tell our story.
Great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. Best of luck on the campaign trail, and I'm certain that we'll speak again before the election in 2024. So, Adam Frisch, thanks again.
Look forward to it. Have a great day.